Player Championship competitor, Team Hot Sauce Games in the house from Chicago, going up against Chris Turnbull, playing Green Black Constrictor. Like I said, metagame breakdown at the conclusion of the round, and we are about to be underway. Tenjum will start things off slowly but surely with a Drowned Catacombs. Chris with a Forest and Atlanta War Elves. Over Tenjum we do go. Chris starting on 6 cards, unfortunately, as there's a Swamp for Andrew Tenjum. This will be a big attack with Atlanta War Elves. Another copy of Atlanta War Elves. And yikes. Just a 1-lander here for Turnbull. For Tenjum, it will be a Champion of Wit. So he'll draw 2 and discard 2 cards. It's going to smooth things out here. Get set up for the mid to late game. Not the start Chris Turnbull was looking for, folks.
Although, fortunately for him, his Atlanta War Elves have survived, so going into this turn with 3, maybe 4 mana next turn.
Yeah, and Tenjum doesn't have a lot of cheap removal in his deck. He has 2 Fatal Push and 2 Magma Spray. You also find 2 copies of Cast Down and 2 copies of Abrade, so he's really diversified his removal as he discards a Nicol Bolas and a Torrential Gearhawk. You got to be feeling pretty terrible if you are Chris Turnbull seeing that.
Not necessarily. It could mean that Tenjum's hand doesn't have red mana.
Okay, fair.
Could be very good news. If that discard could be missing a land drop type of discard.
Swamp means that Chris has found a land. Let's see what comes next. It's a Constrictor of the Winding variety. Pass the turn back. Over to Tenjum we shall go. Is he missing red mana? The answer is no. It will enter the battlefield tap, so a bit of a delay there, given the Canyon Slew. And Tenjum will just pass the turn back. Chris will draw. And now here is a Rishkar. Pima Renegade.
And you mentioned here Tenjum's hand, or Tenjum's deck list, rather, really late on cheap spot removal. We're seeing that so far. I mean, there's been plenty of spots here for him to kill Atlanta War Elf, kill a Winding Constrictor, now a Rishkar, and hasn't been able to do anything.
Looks like Rishkar is going to resolve, and of course, because the Winding Constrictor is on the battlefield, these creatures will get 2 counters. And looks like we might see some attacking here from Chris Turnbull, and here are the attackers. Atlanta War Elves, it's a 3-3. Winding Constrictor, that is a 2-3. It looks like Tenjum is just going to take it. So he must be stuck with some number of Vraska's Contempts in hand because he's not playing any cheap removal, of which, again, he could be playing Fatal Push or Cast Down, given the mana. Now that he has red mana, Abrade and Magma Spray have been turned on. That 4th mana as well means that Vraska's Contempt is live. But Tenjum off to a very, very slow start to start things off here. This will be 4 mana. Perhaps it is time to play Vraska's Contempt. And it looks like it is. Tenjum's just deciding what he wants to target. He will go with Winding Constrictor. Generally the card that you want to kill when playing against this deck because it is so powerful while it remains on the battlefield.
Yep. I mean, Tenjum cannot stabilize with creatures while that card is out there because he will just get very outsized on the battlefield.
Pettit pulls to the land there. And we head back over to Chris Turnbull. Looks like he's picked up a 3rd land here in Woodland Cemetery. Looks like he's going to start by attacking there with Rishkar and Atlanta War Elves. So to hit there for 7. It's going to bring Tenjum down to 9. There is the Cemetery, 4 mana. What do we see? Vinemare in the main deck.
1 Vinemare in the main deck.
Well, well, well. You play it to draw it in specific matchups, and it looks like Chris Turnbull did here. That'll be land number 6 for Andrew Tenjum. Now keep in mind for Tenjum, that Torrential Gearhawk count, there are 2, and 1 of them is already in his graveyard. He's tapping mana. And it looks like he'll be deploying a Liliana Death's Majesty. This will allow him to get back Torrential Gearhawk. That will allow him to play Vraska's Contempt. He's catching back up pretty quickly. Let's go back over to Chris Turnbull, as we have a heck of a turn there from Andrew Tenjum as he goes back up to 11.
Big swing.
And the question you have to ask yourself now, if you're a Green-Black Constrictor player, is can you keep up with that power level of stuff?
I mean, if he has a removal spell here for the Torrential Gearhulk, he can attack the Liliana off the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a great turn for Tenjum, no question. But
this is a Winding Constrictor. There's a hub, 2 energy, thanks to the Constrictor. Not
what a
one.
deal!
Yeah. It's like they were born to work together.
This is sort of an odd sequence here from Turnbull. I'm curious to see how this turn plays out because he has Ravenous Chupacabra in hand. My instinct going into the turn was simply Chupacabra down the Torrential Gearhulk and send the 3/3 Land of War Elf and the Vine Mare at Liliana. Mm-hmm. There's no block that preserves the Liliana, and then you move on. He needs to...
Wait, say what you want to do again? I'm sorry.
Ravenous Chupacabra.
Oh, if he had one. Gotcha.
I believe he had one in hand is the thing.
I don't think so. I feel like he would have played it.
I don't know. Well, we'll find out. I'm almost positive I saw it in his hand. My instinct going in the turn is just Chupacabra down the Gearhulk, knock out the Liliana, and you've got a ton on the battlefield. Things are still going pretty well. Although it's possible the other side of this is Turnbull might say, well, if all the Liliana represents next turn is a zombie, that might not be powerful enough to justify contorting my play, and I can still leave the Chupacabra back.
Ooh, Vine Mare coming on in. Right now, 7-5. Looks like Champion of Wits is going to jump in front of it. I'm not the Torrential Gearhulk. Yep. All right, let's go back over to Tenjum then. If he had a Chupacabra, it looks like he's just picking a better spot. We'll have to find out what that last card is. It's either that or a Glint-Sleeve Siphoner. I know there's a black card in hand.
Yep. Yeah, if it's Siphoner, that's very different.
Oof.
Now a lot more pressure to get rid of that Liliana in the next turn.
Yeah. There's a Nicol Bolas and a Scarab God in the graveyard right now. Here's 5 mana. And there's a copy of the Scarab God.
So worth noting here, if Turnbull has a removal spell for the Torrential Gearhulk, the Vine Mare is now unblockable, as the leftovers that Tenjum have is the Scarab God and a zombie token.
Take a look at the top shelf in the match. Timothy Candee wins game number 1 over Joe Bernal. Steve can show very quickly up a game here over Jeskai Stoneblade.
In fact, I think it is just lethal here if Turnbull can get the Torrential Gearhulk off the battlefield. Because the Vine Mare is unchecked, that's 7 points of damage. Your remaining blocks are on Rishkar and Llanowar Elves, and that's an extra...
Looks like an extra 3.
Okay, so he's a point short. This assumes he can kill the Torrential Gearhulk.
Well, I see a Chupacabra in hand now.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that was in hand last turn, but I guess not 100%.
Well, time to tag in the teammate. If you're not sure what to do, that's what you got Zachary Kiihne there for. And Kiihne is going to help his teammate to the best of his ability.
And the thing here is you can't come up just a little bit short because it gets so bad for Turnbull next turn if the Scarab God is untapped.
Well, there is the Chupacabra. Looks like it's going to go after the Scarab God. Ooh, everybody coming in. Interesting here. You would think that Torrential Gearhulk will want to jump in front of the Vine Mare, but maybe that's not the case. And we'll have to find out where these attackers are going. I'm assuming everything's going at Andrew Tenjum and not Liliana.
I mean, I think Tenjum's perspective here, what he wants to do is just make the most inroads on the battlefield as possible. The Torrential Gearhulk has the ability to block the Vine Mare next turn, and the Liliana here is going to give him a free reanimation. So he might just get so much on the battlefield this coming turn. Although he is at 1, I mean, he's got to be able to come up with 5 things.
Yeah. 5's a lot.
So he's got Torrential Gear Hulk. That's a thing. Get back in.
I've just been informed via the Twitter sphere. And Adam Snook on Facebook. The Gear Hulk is actually black right now because of Liliana returning it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that'll change things.
Yes.
Let's take a look at Liliana's Death Majesty.
We should have a counter for that, I
I
think.
think you're right. That creature is a black zombie. In addition to its other colors.
Yeah, that makes Turnbull's line a lot, make a lot more sense here. It's just really hard for Tenjum to put together any sort of non-black blocker.
Yep.
And just brute force the game that way.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Liliana is going to return Champion of Wits. Tenjum is going to draw a bunch of cards. Well, Liliana returns the Scarab God. Scarab God returns Champion of Wits. Draw 4, discard. There we are. There goes, 2 more copies of the Scarab God. Land for turn. Potentially has Vraska's Contempt at the ready.
But, I mean, is there anything in the deck that can handle
a 7/5 Vinemare?
From the spot. I mean, is he actually just flat dead?
I think so. I think I would just attack with the Vinemare. Yeah. What kind of weird card do you have?
I mean, if all he's got is a Contempt, that's nowhere near enough.
Well, that's a black zombie. Is it not? Yeah, that Gear Hulk is black. Yeah, okay. I think Tenjum may have thought that it was blue. Who knows? Either way, Chris Turnbull is going to win game number 1 here over Andrew Tenjum. Green-Black Constrictor up a game over Grixis mid-range. As you see the team of Candee, Kiihne, and Turnbull, they're all up 1.
Good start.
Not bad for the team on the left, looking to take down the former Team Constructed champions in SCG Cincinnati earlier this year. We'll go to Tenjum's sideboard now. We'll take a look at 3 Duresses, 2 Chandra's Defeat, 2 Jace's Defeat, 2 Hour of Devastation, 2 Negate and a Braid, an Argul's Bloodfast, a Cast Down, and a Magma Spray.
I definitely want the Magma Spray and the... Although I guess there isn't a whole lot to kill with Magma Spray in the deck besides the 2 copies of Land World. Still probably better to put in a little bit of cheap removal. I'd bring in the Braid, the Hour of Devastations, and probably the Bloodfast as well.
On Chris Turnbull's side, it's 4 Duress, 3 Life Crafters Bestiary, 3 Vinemare, 2 Fatal Push, 2 Shaper Sanctuary, and an Hour of Glory.
This is a really nice sideboard for this matchup. He gets to cut a lot of the less efficient creature removal. Some cards like Aethersphere Harvester that don't line up the right way for a mixture of Duress, Life Crafters Bestiary, and Vinemare. I think he wants the Hour of Glory, too.
Vinemare's not messing around.
No.
It's a pretty good card here. Keep seeing it be so good against these Grixis mid-range decks. They have so few outs to this. Now, obviously, Tenjum is bringing some in with Hour of Devastation, and we've seen players go towards Kiihne's expertise, but this is a hard card for these Grixis decks to beat.
Yeah, I mean, they don't block it well. They don't kill it easily. And it's not only that it's just powerful when you're starting off the game. A lot of where the power comes from is in games like this, where like Tenjum has ostensibly stabilized, turned the game around, has the Scarab God active, has reanimated Torrential Gear Hulk, all these powerful plays, but Vinemare just was unassailable, and Turnbull was able to win a game where he was otherwise dramatically outpowered.
Well, those are the options there for both players, and as game number 2 prepares to be underway, we're going to talk about something. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about game night?
Yep.
All right, talk about it.
You can head over to go.starcitygames.com/game night to get some more information. Every month, Star City Games produces pins and tokens we send out to the stores that are signed up for game night. Stores can then run game night however they want to and give out these kits to their players. This is July kit, Playing with Fire. We've got August and September to show you as well with Order of the First Cheese and then Garden Tendencies. Again, go.starcitygames.com/game night. Find the game night closest to you. And stores, if you want to get signed up for game night, contact your Star City Games in-store play representative.
Garden Tendencies.
Yeah.
I like it. I like gardening.
Do you garden?
Occasionally.
Okay. That's cool.
Gotta have hobbies.
Yep.
Gotta have hobbies, man.
No, gardening's...
That was a chore my mom used to make me do when I was growing up. Had to... There's a lot of lawn activities. I was actually made fun of a lot when I was a kid. My dad used to make me mow the lawn like twice a week.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I got to mow the ditch as a kid.
What does that mean?
Well, we had so edge of the property.
Okay.
And then there's sort of like this drainage slope that comes back up.
Okay.
But there's still grass there.
Sure.
So
someone's got to cut it.
I had to wear goggles because there's just like rocks flying out. And it's like a pretty bad scene in retrospect, but I did do that.
Mow the ditch.
I grew up in kind of the middle of nowhere, New Jersey, so land wasn't very expensive 40 years ago. We had about an acre, I think.
Nice.
And my dad was very passionate about having a well-manicured lawn.
Same.
So we spent a lot of Saturday mornings and afternoons doing a variety of what seemed to me at the time, and still sort of does, intermittently pointless and dangerous tasks around the property, keeping it well maintained.
I would just come home from school, and I'd walk in the door, and hey, Dad, he's like, go mow the lawn. All right, that conversation's good.
Yep.
There's nowhere to go from there.
Yeah, I had to mow the ditch. The lawn itself was mowed by my dad. This was a pleasure of his.
I did eventually.
He wore dress shoes and black socks up to his knees.
What?
And khaki shorts.
What?
Yeah, it was a I don't know.
It's hot outside.
That didn't matter.
Okay. Okay.
That was him on vacation.
Okay.
It's a weird small town culture around this stuff. You know, when I was a kid, I didn't think this was weird at the time. In retrospect, it's obviously incredibly weird.
It's obviously strange.
My dad used to, our town was small enough, my dad used to drive the lawnmower to the gas station.
No, that's awesome.
On
that's
the road.
Awesome.
When he went to go get gas for the lawnmower.
Was it a riding mower?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
He just rode it down the road.
That's great.
Just like,
that's very backwards. Wasting the gas.
It's so illegal. Yeah. It's like not okay.
Wasting the gas to drive there to fill it up.
Yeah.
Makes very little sense.
Yep.
But I like it. Plus, it's probably like kind of comforting. Remember, it's like you're not going all that fast, so it's like kind of relaxing. I'm gonna meet your dad at some point now.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, he's a hoot.
Adventurous impulse here from Chris Turnbull. I haven't mowed a lawn in like 10 years. I actually kind of miss it.
Yeah, I mean you've been sort of shifting around urban liver, not tied to one place for very long, not a lot in the way of land and all that sort of stuff. Changes when you get older, maybe.
And my parents have sold the lawnmower because they just pay like some high school kid to do it now.
Yeah, of course.
So when I go home, it's not. They don't ever instruct me to mow the lawn anymore. It's kind of sucks actually. Not that much. Like if they asked me to rake, I wouldn't do it because raking is horrible.
Yeah.
But I'd mow. Whining Constrictor's dead. Good plan there, Tenjum. Here's a Dragon Skull Summit. Though I will never shovel snow again. Ever.
There's a time when I was 19 or 20, and my relationship with my parents was pretty strained. And I got a call from my dad, who's like, I know things aren't good with us right now, but this is the first Christmas where all the kids are out of the house, and your mom's having a tough time with it. I think it would mean a lot if you came over, hung out with her, spent the night here. It's like, okay, cool. So go over there, watch a movie, all that. And in the morning, I get woken up at like 6 in the morning, and it's my mom going, go string some Christmas lights up around the house.
The true plan has been revealed.
So I'm just out there. It's freezing. It's 6:30 in the morning. My mom was pointed and laughed through the window.
Here's another copy of Vine Mare. Tenjum had his Premier 4 drop in a Nicol Bolas the Ravager. And Chris Turnbull's might be even better than that, as there's a Dragon Skull Summit.
And if you wonder if I have some feelings about it, I am talking about it nearly 20 years later.
I can tell you still do. You might need to get that sorted out. That's all I'm saying. I know that you've got a little one. Are you prepared to tell your child to go mow the lawn in 12 years from now? Get out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Good. Virtuous Gearhulk.
It's a combo with Vinemare because it's already hard to kill. And now it is harder to kill. It's outside of our devastation range. So let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, that's probably it then. This card should have been better. I still don't understand why it wasn't busted.
Because you already have a significant presence on the battlefield, and you play a 5-drop, is already a winning position. It doesn't have to be that good.
I thought,
and the times where it's bad, it's just horrible.
Then it's just an 8/8.
Yeah, but an 8/8 trampler for 5 that's an artifact, so liable to all the artifact destruction, would not sniff constructed.
All right.
I mean, it's still a very powerful card. It's shown up in tournament-winning decks. There's nothing wrong with it.
I thought it was going to be awesome.
The spots where it's good already represent winning positions. Oh, thought maybe we would see a Doomfall there, finish it off, but appears not. See, and this is a combo.
So there you go. See, he gets it. He gets it.
Because it's already very hard for Andrew Tenjum to kill this thing, and now it is more difficult.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's a horse combo deck.
There it is.
That's what that was right there. Chris Turnbull going to win this match over Andrew Tenjum. Green-black Vinemare takes care of Grixis mid-range. Well done. As it looks like we're going to turn our attention to Modern now. Watch a little Storm against Mardu. Ooh, Campbell. Powerful card. Vinemare is just messing people up this weekend.
Yeah, 1 in the main deck is the perfect amount.
1 in the main, 3 in the board. Good luck.
I play with 1 because I need to draw exactly 1 in game 1, and then post-board. I might need more than 1 because you might have the right removal spell.
Zach's got a lot of cards in his graveyard.